Yeah, so I think you have this whole idea of jurisdictional arbitrage, goes way back to Jacob Rees-Mogg. I think it was his father who wrote The Sovereign Individual. And this idea that you can live your life across multiple jurisdictions, and actually it's the most rational way to live due to the risk of total loss if you're in any single jurisdiction. So this idea of digital nomads and shared communities, this is something that it's not new. I think what's interesting first is Prospera, I think, is what is sometimes characterized as a fourth generation network state, which reflects the concept of Balaji's and in his book, The Network State, where you have a group of people who colonize land around shared values. And his term for that is the one commandment. And I would say for reality, we're trying to do something that could be characterized as a fifth generation network state or a cloud first network state. And the essential idea is that we contest the assumption that geographic territory is absolutely necessary for a nation state, right? This idea that jurisdiction has always been defined since the Treaty of Westphalia in terms of territory, geographic territory. And these territories are really the result of long fought wars and treaties and these kind of things. But nowadays, most people's lives are not really governed by things related to the physical territory they're in. They're governed by abstractions, things like money, like rules, like resources, business operations that are all run digitally. And we think that fundamentally, a nation does not require land to exist, and it doesn't impugn its legitimacy just because it doesn't have land. The state and a nation is really a construct, right? The idea of a state comes first and then the referent. And we say that you can actually ground a nation state on the cloud in its own digital space. But for that to really work, it cannot be a space that is owned by any one party. It cannot be monopolized. It has to be a truly public, permissionless space in which really anything is possible computationally, right? If you want to really have a society, you have to have really a general purpose computer that can perform all of these calculations and computations and coordinate people. And so that's what reality has. And as far as I'm concerned, only reality has it, right? You cannot run a society using smart contracts. What you need is distributed architecture. You need applications with sufficient complexity that they mirror what we already have in Web 2, but they do it in a truly permissionless environment. And so that's what we're aiming to provide.